Welcome back to Saturday Spirit, your home for the deepest stories and most intense passions of college football. Today we're diving into a narrative that has haunted one of college sports' biggest brands for decades.
When the passion takes the field, it's game day. This is Saturday Spirit. That's the spirit of the game. That's the spirit of Saturday.
The University of North Carolina. Known as the Sleeping Giant, the Tar Heels have always held the promise of greatness, a latent potential that rarely fully materializes. But this year, the narrative was supposed to change. Unprecedented investment, massive financial backing, and the arrival of a living legend in American football, Bill Belichick. The expectation was palpable. But can even the legendary Belichick break the infamous Carolina curse? To grasp the magnitude of the challenge, we need to look at the Tar Heels' recent history. Since the year 2000, the North Carolina football program boasts a perfectly even record, 157 wins and 157 losses. It's a historical average that, yes, will get you to plenty of regionally based bowl games and deliver enough home wins to keep the fans entertained until basketball season starts. But, for outside observers, the perception of North Carolina football has been shaped in a very specific way, by how they perform on the big stages. This is a trend that has carried through 6.5 head coaches, including an interim season. It spanned teams of varying quality and diverse opponents. While it's unfair to paint with a broad brush, when we talk about soft factors like reputation, sometimes that broad brush defines the conversation. The Sleeping Giant label isn't just a description, it's a weight, an unfulfilled expectation that hangs over every single season. The curse isn't limited to the overall average. It's in the moments of highest visibility that North Carolina consistently stumbles. Let's look at the numbers. Since the year 2000, the Tar Heels hold a grim 4-12 record in bowl games. And the situation worsens if we look from 2014 onwards, where the record stands at a stark 1-8, with the only triumph coming against Temple in the 2019 Military Bowl. College football fans are accustomed to seeing the iconic interlocking NC in the postseason, but also accustomed to seeing the Tar Heels on the losing end. It's a consistent disappointment in games that should be the culmination of a season. And it's not just bowl games. The same fate repeats itself on another big stage, season openers against power conference opponents. Since 2000, North Carolina holds an identical 4-12 record. Whether it's a quality game at the beginning or the end of the season, the 21st century is filled with examples of North Carolina falling short when the lights are brightest. That's the reputation. That's the Carolina curse. It was to break this vicious cycle that the University of North Carolina made an unprecedented investment in its football program. The hiring of Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, and the additional financial support poured into the program wasn't just a gamble. It was an audacious experiment to see if the Tar Heels could finally achieve different results. Belichick brought with him a spotlight that had the Tar Heels discussed nationally before they had even played a game. The stage was set, a Monday night game against TCU, an opportunity that could have been transformative for the program and the school. The expectation was that things would be different, but instead of a transformative evening in Chapel Hill, North Carolina delivered a performance that, for fans, most of whom had cleared out by the end of the 48-14 trouncing, felt all too familiar. The defensive breakdowns, offensive ineptitude, and turnovers that followed were all typical of a program that has been falling on its face when the lights are the brightest. It was the exact same result, at an infinitely higher price tag. Belichick and his staff maintained throughout the preseason that this is a team that will be better by the end of the season than they are at the beginning. The messaging within the program has been a focus not just on this year, but on 2026, starting with the recruiting class that is currently ranked inside the top 20 at 247 Sports. No one declared that North Carolina was going to win an ACC championship in 2025, but there was certainly an expectation that things would be different. Instead, it was all too familiar. Kenan Stadium was roaring as the team took the field and exploded into a frenzy as the offense marched down the field and scored on their first drive. But the defensive breakdowns, offensive ineptitude, and turnovers that followed were all typical of a program that had been falling on its face when the lights are the brightest. The hire of Belichick was supposed to clean up defensive breakdowns, and the influx of money for NIL and revenue sharing was supposed to help shape a roster that would be ready to compete against similar competition. There is going to be some serious scar tissue from Monday night's lopsided loss, both within the North Carolina community and for outsiders. Buying in on Tar Heel football as a potentially elite program will take so much more than 33rd team branding, fancy light shows, or even a Super Bowl winning head coach. The only path forward is by winning big games and stacking successful seasons. Bill Belichick is 73 years old, and during whatever time he has left in Chapel Hill, he will hold in his hands the opportunity to escape from the gravitational pull of 500 football. North Carolina is one of the great brands in college sports and regularly rates as a television draw. So if there's another round of conference realignment, the Tar Heels would certainly be attractive as an expansion candidate. But until things change on the field, this will be a football program that is frequently appearing on big stages, getting big ratings, and going home with losses. Maybe that's attractive to another conference or any future Super League in college football. But it's not the experience that North Carolina fans are looking for, and certainly not at the cost that's on the current bill. Those fans made their thoughts known with their actions, clearing the stadium long before the last fancy light show of the night. They arrived looking for something different and found more of the same. The Carolina curse is real, and the question is Belichick's legend strong enough to finally break it? Only time and wins on the big stages will tell, and Saturday Spirit will be here to cover every moment. Until next time.
If you connected with this story, remember to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Join the Saturday Spirit community, and we'll see you next time for more untold stories and unforgettable moments from college football.